Colleen and welcome to my channel. I've never met a sparkle that I didn't like and a bully that I did, because being mean is not cool. Awesome people are not mean, so be kind all the time. So welcome to another day of Colleen's Creeptober and another edition of Friday Frights. I'm so excited for today. Today I'm going to be telling you another one of my stories. This story freaked me out a little bit. It involves like why I still feel really weird using a Ouija board, and why I'm still very, very cautious about using them, and why I still kind of regret going against my initial ban against ever using one. They're not toys. I don't know why they're advertised as toys and they're sold in the toy section. They're not toys. I don't know how much more I can express that. They're tools to speak to the other side. Yeah, no. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, no, it's your hand moving and blah, blah, blah. We don't push it. It moved. And yeah. So today I will tell you about our Ouija board experience where we... I'm not saying its name, but the Ouija board demon came through. And it rhymes with bozo. You just take the B out and put another Z in. You know who it is. I'm not saying its name because it freaks me out. So I'm going to stop rambling. I figured I would show you which palettes I was going to use first, so this way I don't have to stop and show you. I'm going to use the Peachy Queen Destiny palette because, you know, it's very spooky themed. I could have used the Spirit Board palette, which would have really tied in with this, but, you know, let's not tempt fate. And I'm also going to use a single from Terramoons Cosmetics called Reign of Terra. And oh my god, this is such a beautiful multi-chrome. And I'm also using another beautiful multi-chrome Lowkey from Luxe Beauty. So without further ado, let's get into the time the Ouija board demon decided to come on through. This is probably about 2 years ago now. It was definitely way before the pandemic. It was me, my brother, my sister, her fiance Laura, and actually my mom. We decided to use the Ouija board. We had used it once before and we used a different one. This one was like an angel board. So I was like, oh, this should be like better because, you know, it's like an angel spirit board. Just says the word on it. And we used the other one and nothing weird happened, you know, and we, of course, whenever we do it, we're very safe. We use any type of protection that we can, and I always sage and everything afterwards, and we clear the energy, and we always go in with good intentions, and you should go in with good intentions, and you should always go in when you're feeling good. You shouldn't ever go into these things if you're not feeling good, if your energy's low, just because that's definitely like a way to attract dark energies. And all of us this day didn't seem to have, like, we all had good intentions, we all felt good. So my brother hadn't done the Ouija board with us the other time because he wasn't there, and he happened to be visiting this day, so we decided to try it with him. So we did everything else that we did with the other one, set everything up, you know, put some protection stuff out, you know, said a little, you know, thing before, did everything you're supposed to do that they tell you to do. And you just always have to remember, even when you do all that, you don't know who you're bringing through. Even if you want to bring through a certain person, you never know who's actually talking to you on the other side of that planchette. They could say that they're your grandmother or your, you know, a dead relative or whoever, but you never actually know who it is. So you do have to be very careful. You always have to make sure you close out the game. Not the game. It's not a game. I do have to say though, right off the bat from when we started, there was something weird about it. Like, I just brushed it off in the beginning, but I shouldn't have, because there was some kind of weird energy from the second we started, and I ignored it, that was a bad thing to do. It wasn't like when we first started setting up, it was when we started doing the game. I don't know why I ignored it, because it wasn't that strong and it didn't feel threatening. It just felt off. But when we first started, like, nothing was weird, you know. We started asking questions, and it, you know, it moved around and answered some stuff. It was weird because a spirit came through claiming to be a paternal relative, who we had never met. I think who had died before all of us were born, including my mom. And it didn't give too many details, but then it did something really creepy. Then out of nowhere, the planchette spelled out my name. And we're like, what the hell? And so we're like, why are you spelling out Colleen? And then it went to, I think it was like visit and then bed, which was really, really odd and did make sense. Because one of my first real, well, like, known memories of a definite spirit encounter happened when I was a teenager. And I was laying in my bed, and out of nowhere, someone sat on the end of my bed, and I felt the bed go down, and I heard it creak, but there was actually nobody there, except for the fact that, like, I could feel the same type of energy that I feel when I know the cats are there. I know that there's something there, and I never knew who it was. It sort of freaked me out because I knew it was supernatural, but I didn't feel threatened at the same time. I always felt it must have been somebody I knew. I always figured it was a grandparent or something, because all of my grandparents died when I was young. My paternal grandfather died when I was the oldest. I was still only 17 though, so I didn't know a lot of them growing up, so I always figured maybe they would come and visit. So when it did that, I was like, okay, that's weird though, because it made sense, but it still didn't feel right. Like, there was just something off about it. I didn't feel like it was telling the truth, if that makes any sense. So then we just proceeded to keep playing, and it just kept getting weirder. And when I say weirder, the board started giving answers that were just, they didn't make sense. They were completely nonsensical. And then it started just like completely spelling out nonsense, which you know is never ever a good sign. And it was just being very, very... The board just started acting the way you would not want the board to act. And we hadn't been playing like for an extended period of time. We were playing for like a normal amount of time that you would play before it started acting weird. So it wasn't like we were playing like extensively or something like that. But after about like a minute or two of it, you know, giving us nonsensical answers and spelling out weird things, it went for those 4 letters, and you know exactly which ones they were. Z-O-Z-O. And I freaked out, and I had to immediately close the game out. And they had no idea why, because my brother and sister, and then they had never heard of that before. And I had, because I had done like I was looking up things about the Ouija board to like safely use one, which of course I don't think there's any real safe way to use one. And so as soon as that name came up, I knew that was no. So I immediately closed out the game. They freaked out, and I was like, absolutely not. I'm like, I knew it. I knew I should have ended this sooner. And you know, it was just no. So we closed the game out. I immediately saged everything. I remember my sister's fiance, Laura, we were talking about this recently, and she goes, yeah, wasn't that the day that there was like so much sage and like smoke in the house that like we couldn't breathe? And I was like, probably. It was just like, I didn't take any chances. I did not want anything to happen. We have never used that board since. I don't think we will ever use that board again. don't trust it. You know, and it was just interesting because none of us went into it like with those type of thoughts. We were all going to a very positive, because the last experience we had was, you know, positive as far as I, you know, recalled. And so it really threw me off that like that happened. And yeah, and it freaked me out because you hear about all these stories and I'm like, absolutely not. And yeah, no. So no. That's all I have to say about that. I mean, I don't, knock on wood, like, it's been a while, and I think we've closed it out okay, and I don't think it was able to get out or anything like that. But it's just always, this is just like a tale of caution to, like, even if you're being serious about playing with the Ouija board and you have the best intentions, you never know who is talking to you on the other side. And I have a feeling that that thing was talking to us the whole time. I don't think it was any paternal relative at all. I think it was that thing the whole time and was just playing around and waiting for its chance. Scary. Yeah. No. So this is my finished look right here. Very bright, very pink, you know, kind of like my tie-dye shirt, which I love. It's a hot day in October today, so it's actually pretty humid in here. So that is my story of the time that stupid thing came through when we used a Ouija board. And that is my warning to you too. If you are going to use a Ouija board, please use it with the ultimate caution. I still mixed about how I feel about Ouija boards and stuff like that, because that did freak me out a little bit. But then again, like, I don't know, it was just not cool. And I know that people are gonna think that's like stupid, but you know, like I said before, you just never know who you are talking to on the other side of that board. So always just be careful. So anyway, my celestial cupcakes, that is it for this video. So if you liked this video, please feel free to give it a like. If you really like this video, please feel free to subscribe. If you want to do neither one of those things, that's fine. I thank you so much for stopping by and spending this minute with me. I really appreciate it. And I also send you tons of happy thoughts and positive vibes your way just for stopping by. So thank you. As always, I will have everything that I'm wearing on my face, as well as my Twitter and Instagram handles listed below in case you'd like to follow me there. I post pictures of looks that I did not film, as well as pictures of my pets, and I think they are adorable. But of course, we are all biased when it comes to our fur babies, but oh well. And also, plug for myself, if you like scary stories, I have just uploaded a new Halloween story on my vocal.media profile, which is linked below. And if you want to check it out, you can. It is absolutely free, just like watching my videos on YouTube. It costs you nothing. So yeah, and actually I believe everything on the channel that on my profile there, all of my stories are supernatural themed. Really big surprise. So anyway, remember, be you, do you, love you. Bye.